This video is made in the dark because I feel sick. Oh my god. What's up with people and coughing like 3-year-old children just sticking their tongue out in public like like nigga, you're 30. Ew. And my braider was coughing on the back of my head and shit too, so that might be a factor. But I also didn't get much sleep. Anyway, fuck it though. We ball regardless. I just have to say, I always tell niggas whenever they're like, I don't think I'm worthy of love. I don't know the. Ooh, I'm scared to talk to women. Oh, I don't know what to do. It's like, okay, how do I put this? We're getting like, if you were like between the ages of like your teen years to like, I'd say the cutoff for that behavior is like 22, 23. Like after 23, you gotta lock in. This also applies to me. I was thinking to myself, like, damn, how long do I wanna go in my life where I'm still just scared of women? And every time they give me a compliment, I just damn near have an orgasm on the spot and start salivating. And I'm unable to just be like, oh, like, like I'll still play it off. I'll be like, oh, thank you. And blush like hell. Like a girl complimented me in public today and I openly skipped afterwards because I felt such euphoric joy. Like, but I have to remind myself you can't keep putting women on a pedestal or you're just going to get more and more and more detached from how easy they are to talk to and socialize with and stuff. Then again, I am a woman, sort of. So I have a certain privilege. But as a man, it's like, how do I put this? If you're going to fear rejection or whatever, or if you're going to keep dodging, learning how to ask out and talk to women because of shyness, you need to stop that because eventually you're going to change as you get older. And so you'll stop, like, then it's gonna go from, ooh, I'm not asking out women because of shyness to, oh, I'm not asking out women because of baldness and shyness. It's like you gotta pick one struggle. Because, like I said, there are sexy ass niggas I've met who don't have hair. Plenty of them. Hell, I got one guy, he's no longer a friend, but if you saw him, it's like, who gives a fuck that he is bald? Like, if anything, I think some men should just embrace it. Like, the second you, like, some people can walk the fuck out of a widow's peak. If anything, certain types of, like, hair loss, like, some of it looks bad. Some of it looks, like, sexy and interesting. Like, someone even made a joke this week on Twitter. They were like, oh, this type of fucked up hairline would get you the most amazing and groundbreaking roles in some sort of like 70s callback film. And I was like, you're absolutely fucking right. This is the look of like a hardened detective or whatever who's struggling to keep on with his divorce, but always has a packet of cigarettes and a gun ready. Like, you know what I mean? And they usually have like the best comedic one liners and shit in the movies. Like, I'm simply saying baldness ain't the end, but it is just the beginning of the end. Sorry, that sounds so fucked up. Let me say that less dramatically. I'll put it to you like this. When you're a young hot boy twink or young fit, all that, you are at your prime. Like, you could be at your prime in multiple times of your life. Trust me. Like, some people age like a fine wine. Some people age like hot milk left on a fucking sun. I mean, left on a fucking roof in the sun. But I'll put it to you like this. It's going to be easier to talk to women and, like, deal with rejection when you're young and cute and fly. Because if you nip it in the bud sooner and you practice getting rejected, it's going to be 10 times easier than when your hairline's breaking apart like fucking Pangea. Because like the dudes who I've met who are like, oh, I'm not that cute and I'm kind of ugly, it's like, nigga, you look like you should fucking model. Have you seen those big fucking eyes of yours and your nose? Oh, I love your nose. That jawline. Like, oh, it's like, yeah, it's like, nigga, take care of your hygiene so that your teeth don't show up fucking, I don't know, technicolor yellow in every fucking photo. And like sit up when you talk, definitely, but not ugly. Never ugly. If anything, I think, like, come on now. Another nigga I was having a thing with, we've had a thing on and off since like, I'm 24 now for context, and back then when we started doing our thing, I was like 19, like roughly 19. Yeah, I was 19, I think. Was I? Yeah. And oh my god, I'll put it to you like this: they're a fine ass motherfucker, but then they still will be like, I don't know if I'm worth a relationship. But as time has gone on, I don't want to say it, even though they will probably never see that. I'm gonna say it. Their looks have been deteriorating. Cause before it was like young, suave, sexy Latino man, nice dark skin, dulce de leche colored skin, ravy, thick, luscious hair, thick lips, cute puppy dog brown doe eyes. It's like, ooh, nice strong nose. It's like, sir, you've got the goods. But the issue is you stare at your feet all the time and twiddle your fucking fingers and have never, ever, 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 ever done anything that scares you ever because you don't place value on your own life. I see the value. You're hot as fuck, and you actually can be very sweet and thoughtful and interesting. And if you're wondering why haven't we dated, that's a long story, and I'd rather not get into it. Let's just say ew. But also we were stupid because it's like it's so funny that I say this as if like a month or two ago we weren't like cuddling on a beach until like 4 a.m. as he was crying into my body. It's so funny. Just like two frenemies with benefits where it's like, oh hi to me, I have no one else to talk to, and we were just laying on the beach until the sun was rising, just letting this nigga vent about his life trauma and holding each other like we were some sort of like couple that lost each other after a war. But whole time we don't even like each other like that. Ah, yeah. Not an uncommon dynamic in my life, I will admit. But I will say this, because he's been like, how do I put this? He hasn't allowed himself much pleasure, which hasn't allowed him much like unwinding. He's been stressed out. He hasn't taken the best care of himself. And it's starting the show. It's like, okay, instead of him having an award winning face, it's starting to like bloat up and get pudgy, and certain areas are starting to sag a little bit. Doesn't mean he's ugly, but it is kind of like, he should probably get a skincare routine and drink some tea every now and then, because all the alcoholism paired with like the lack of like sleep and like any sort of joy in your life, it's gonna make him look like he's fucking 46 when he's only like 25, and that's not good. Like, take care of yourself, please. Like, how do I put this? The trend where women say, like, we've seen the trend where women will be like, oh, I went to this restaurant with my boyfriend and I wore an amazing House of CB, like, fancy silken dress that made my body pop, and I used all these products to moisturize and I look fantastic. And, you know, she's everything. And then he's just there. And it's like, it's like, do you want, like, how do I put this? That can happen already, you know? Most women take better care of themselves than men, you know? And I kind of like, I'm not saying that's like awful either, because simply put, if you've ever met a man who outdrips his girl, he's, ooh, are they good people? That's a long story. Like, oh my god, when have like, I'm not gonna say every single nigga who actually took good care of their hygiene and fashion was a bad person, but if you were to be like, hey, how good of a people were they truly? Yeah, but it's complex. Anyway, straight relationships are very weird, but I'll put it to you like this way. That doesn't get cute at like, it doesn't like, you know, when you're like fucking 21 and it's your first relationship, it's like, okay, she shows up to the fancy restaurant looking glamorous as hell with her orange silk dress and her fancy jewelry and her hair done nice, and you show up just like, I've been roasted with guys before. I like taking dudes like this to comedy shows and sitting front row because a man once showed up. I remember the comedian Tony Sparks, fucking awesome. He was like, "You look amazing, but what the fuck is your boyfriend wearing? Did you just like find him sitting outside on some corner somewhere and said, 'Come on, young blood, there's food where we're going.'" And like that, like people, and then that wasn't the last comic to roast him. Plenty of people were like, "Yeah, she looks like a fucking model, and you look like you're just like on your way to audition to be a lumberjack or some shit." With that weak ass fucking plaid over like jacket. What the fuck? They were dragging him, but he was laughing. And he also kind of knew, okay, I gotta dress up if I go to these places, or else I'm gonna get dogged out by everyone who recognizes that my girlfriend takes care of herself. But also, he should take care of himself consistently anyway. I'm still on good terms with this guy, even though we've broken up. But it's like, I'll put it to you this way. So, stop with the self-fulfilling prophecies and stop with the lack of hygiene. It's like, rip off the band-aid. Rip off the band-aid. Like, because even if, how do I put this? Also, most people, regardless of their gender, think they're ugly when they're younger. Not me, though. Y'all be easy. Sorry. But most people do. They look at themselves and then they're like, oh god, I'm so fat and I'm so ugly and no one's ever gonna love me. And then they take steps to like never lose weight or never see the good parts of their body, including like, you know, and the weight won't even be that bad. It'll be like, okay, maybe you have like 2 extra pounds on you. Who gives a fuck? And then they'll stop taking care of themselves even worse. And then they'll stop making efforts to believe they're worthy of love and accept whatever bullshit comes their way. And I think that real love that does come their way is just a practical joke or a fallacy or something that won't work. And then they'll wake up years later like, I finally left that abusive relationship. Also, I'm looking at old pictures of myself. Damn, I actually was stunning. Why did I let myself get treated that way? So it happens on both sides. If anything, I'll probably make a second video about this. But like what I'm saying is, love yourself while you can and stop being afraid to take risks, because you know when you're like 20 and you're like, I'm not gonna invest in mouthwash or good conditioners, and I'm also not gonna like practice or look up anything on this huge hub of resources we have on how to make friends, how to get women, like, and not Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels ass motherfuckers. I'm talking like actual people who have luck with women, who aren't psychopathic or dangerous to women. Like the men who are actually married, not the men who have like sex trafficking allegations or died in the arms of a prostitute in a motel room alone. Like, I'm just saying, like in the age of like Chat GPT, Reddit, Google, you could have all information you can to like fix your problems at your fingertip. And nothing would break my heart more than a bunch of really hot men who were just like, I'm so ugly and stupid and I will never ever ever get a bitch, and or a girlfriend or love. And then years pass, and then guess the fuck what? Then they don't take care of themselves, don't allow themselves good, don't ever foster a positive relationship with women in a friendship or romantic way. And then next thing you know, they're on the red pill subreddits complaining about why bitches are evil. And it's like whole time they don't even talk to bitches. And they don't, it's like, yeah, nigga, it's like you've been told by your ex for years to use hydrogen peroxide on your teeth to remove the yellow colors, and that you need to consistently brush and floss, and that you're attractive, and to just put yourself out there, and you didn't. So if one day you get the same fucking hair pattern as your dad, and then you realize, oh shit, maybe I was really hot before, and maybe I should, like, I'm just saying. But don't worry, even if you lose your hair, there's still people who will love you. Even if you're kind of awkward in your old age, it'll be a little bit more difficult, but there's still people who will like you regardless. I'm just saying, work on yourself while you're young. Don't regret it when you're old. Because trust me, like, some of y'all are lady killers and you don't even know it because you're too busy hating yourselves. And it's like, why are you hating yourselves? You probably have a pretty half decent personality and some pretty solid looks. I'm just saying. Peace out.